Hello, this is Sean Gibson, Executive Editor at Gaming Illustrated. You're taking a look at Dungeon Siege 3, a game that's released for PC, Xbox 360, and for the PlayStation 3. We are testing this on the PC, and as you see, it's a hack-and-slash adventure. If you've played the other two, then it's going to be a little different than what you've seen in the past. This is the very beginning, where you create your character, and there's a little bit of a tutorial. So you'll see that the graphics of this game are actually quite amazing. You'll be running around. You can control the camera either through use of your keyboard, or you might play this even on a PC with your game controller, which makes you think, well, maybe is this just kind of a poor port, but it's not. It plays well, just fine on PC. I enjoyed playing it. Again, this is the tutorial section. It's the very first level, so there's some very basic things to do here. So you're seeing some really good graphics out of this game, some really good special effects. You can control the view angle depending on whether you're using the controller or the keyboard. And there's two different view angles that you can take. You can alter between back and forth using your scroll mouse wheel. And there's a lot of loot in the game, and unfortunately one of the negative things of this game is that it's not always clear what the differences between the loot are. Sure, there's the ability and attack attributes, but then there's some really weird, bizarre attributes that you won't always be clear in. I'm not one to always read through the game manual, so I didn't have the patience to really look through what's better than what for certain little attributes. I always just picked whatever ended up on the top, that's what I went with. So this tutorial level really gets you involved in the game, and just right off the bat there's a lot of action. As you can see, there's a big payoff whenever you do a critical blow. A guy will just fly off into the settings. I've knocked people off of cliffs and seen them die very horrible deaths, which is always very gratifying when you're playing a game like this where it's a hack and slash adventure. You unlock abilities as you level up. You can have a total of 4. The top 3 are usually attack abilities, and then there's a 4th. Now here we are, this is with a more advanced character level in one of the dungeons that's a haunted mansion, and as you see there's a lot of action, it's a lot of fun. I tended never to use the block, but I did use a hit and run mentality. There's 2 different stances that I would use for this character. One was more of a mob attack and the other one was a ranged attack. And in terms of the action of Dungeon Siege 3, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things that are thrown at you. The bosses are pretty cool. We're going to see one coming up in a little bit. And eventually you'll unlock the ability to have one companion out of the 4 different characters that are in the game. You can't have all 4 at the same time. That's reserved for multiplayer. However, running around, running into these mobs, especially when you have your companion, which has great AI, by the way, it's a lot of fun. Now, there is an RPG element, and as you see certain things, you'll be able to have these dialogue boxes. It's very reminiscent of Knights of the Old Republic, if you will, but any of the old RPGers will recognize these things, and your decisions actually matter. If you do certain things, you will unlock certain abilities and get rewards. And as you can see, there's always a surprise around the corner in this game, especially when you're in one of these dungeons, whether it's a cave or this haunted mansion, whatever it might be. So your decisions matter when you're given dialogue. You'll interact with a lot of different NPCs, and your decisions do matter. They'll alter the course of your character's attributes. So talking to the good about Dungeon Siege 3, the graphics are amazing, the game's a lot of fun, the rewards are not so great in terms of the loot. It's just, again, kind of confusing as to what exactly certain attributes do, but I mean, in the end there's a lot of loot, which is fun. If you really want to get into it, I'm sure it's pretty cool. But for me, I just enjoyed the action. I'm more of an action guy. Let me get in there, let me blow things up, let me kill people, and then I'm going to be having a lot of fun. So if that's your mindset, Dungeon Siege 3 is going to be a great game for you. The multiplayer aspect isn't quite as awesome as it should be. If you join a game, you're just joining a game to have fun. Your character doesn't move on forward. But getting back to the single player campaign, the story's kind of weird and a little bit confusing, but you know, at the same time, it's interesting and it's enough to get you going and enjoying the game. But again, the real draw here for Dungeon Siege 3 is all the fun of the action. And there's a billion save points, fortunately, because you know, you'll always run into action, occasionally be caught off guard and die. And so here we go. We've got one of the boss monsters coming up. And the boss monsters are usually pretty cool. One thing that I ran into was that I would just stay there and start shooting. You really want to dodge those things and not get hit if you get in ranged attack or being beaten down by a mob. There really is some strategy here to the combat. You can't just hack away. You're really going to have to use your abilities in the right set, use the right stance against the right people, and then use your companion in the right way. And you build those people up, you build your own character up the way you want. So there is some customization here. Not quite as much as I had hoped for Dungeon Siege 3, but at the same time it was enough to have fun. And if you have the mentality and you just keep in set that I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to run through these dungeons, I'm going to kill a bazillion people and get some loot, you're going to enjoy this game. So overall, pretty good game, pretty fun, hack and slash adventure, not too bad, definitely recommended.